Hello, everybody. Mike Molina here. Well, the Federal Reserve met today, and no surprise, they did not cut interest rates, but that was expected. Now, as usual, the Federal Reserve makes comments after they have a meeting and they try to give people an indication of what they're going to do in the future. And they're signaling that there's going to be a rate cut, a rather significant rate cut come September of this year. So that's the date to look forward to. And I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of that from your clients and prospects as you are out there talking to them. And I would say at this time, do you remember when in 2021, 2022, when everything started to take off and the housing market was just going crazy and people wouldn't buy for one or two reasons or both. Number one, they were going to buy because they were waiting for the market to crash. Okay. And we kept telling them that's not going to happen. Or when rates went from 2 to 3, they were waiting for them to come back down to 2. And then when they went from 3 to 4, they were waiting for them to come back down to 3. And then when they went to 5, they were waiting for them to come back down to 4, and so on and so forth. We kept saying, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I see the stage being set for that to happen all over again, but just in reverse. Now, as they start to hear about the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, okay, and they start to hear talk about recession, because you're going to start to hear the word recession a lot, all right? And then you're going to start to hear about how the economy's slowing down. And so people are going to start throwing out, oh, well, we're going to wait for the housing market to crash again, which is not going to happen. Remember, rate of completions is far outpacing new household formations. We're not going to have any slowing down of appreciation in the market for at least 5 to 10 years. So as they start hearing about rates to come down, they're going to keep waiting for, rates to come down a little bit lower to 3 or 4%. So you have to frame the conversation. So that's why I'm having this deja vu. And I want to point out this tool in the email that I sent you. You can click one of the buttons below, and it has the appreciation versus interest. And this is this tool right here. This is a snippet of it. And what this is designed to do is to show people that are waiting for the lower rate to save money, how much money they lose. So if the new first starter home is $500,000 and you put down 5%, and we use an average appreciation rate of 5%. Now, in both Utah and California, this is below what's really happening, but let's just call it 5%. Okay, you could put in 4% and this would still be phenomenal numbers, okay? And let's say that the current interest rate is 6.5%, but these people, well, they want to hold out for 5. Just what they want to hold out just for 5, okay? So take a look at this. In year 1, okay, that house will appreciate $25,000, okay? Now, the difference in interest on an annualized basis between 6.5, which is where they're currently at, and the 5% our hypothetical client is holding out for, is $5,400 a year. That means the first year alone, the very first year alone, this hypothetical client, because they want to wait for a 5% rate, is out $19,571. You could put in a rate of 10% here, and these numbers will still be green. That's how dramatic this is. People don't understand the compounding effect of appreciation, which is on the whole loan, versus a small percentage of difference in interest. Okay, I'm sorry, which is on the whole house versus a small percentage of difference on the loan. But you can see, look, just in 5 years, somebody that's waiting for that magical lower rate, $110,000 that they lose out on. Okay, so this is a very, very powerful tool that you can use. I strongly encourage you to download it, play with it. If you have questions, call me. I created this myself because people don't believe it until they see it. And remember, we have all these buyers that are going to be flooding in the market. As soon as those rates start to come down a little bit, about 2.5 million buyers per 0.5% of interest rate. So and that's just going to drive appreciation up even further. All right. So other signs of a booming housing market. So Case-Shiller just came out with their home price index. Okay, month over month up 3%, year over year up 5.9%. So yes, that's lower than than April was a year ago. But remember, we were at a high point last year this time with rates. I mean, things were really awful. So the fact that we're still positive is very, very encouraging. And right here, pending home sales. This is very encouraging. Month over month, pending home sales are up 4.8%. And the housing index is 74.3. We're getting very close to that 100% mark, which is shows the same level of activity as in 2001. So everything is pointing to a very strong housing boom. Again, I don't think we're going to see 2021 and 2022 again, not to that level. Maybe I'm wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but it is going to be much more significant than what it is right now. And remember, use this chart with all of your prospects and clients so they can see just how much impact these lowering rates is going to have and how much more competitive they're going to have to be. And again, I want to emphasize, this chart just shows the people that can now qualify entering the market. This chart does not take into account all the people that already qualify that have just been waiting. That's it for me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. Otherwise, I hope you're well, and we'll talk with you soon. Take care.